everybody.
Holy fuck on a stick, what?
Unwelcome back.
Okay.
It's just, everybody hates me.
Do they?
Yeah, because they keep trying to get me to play Marvis. Well, us to play Marvis, rather. And that's who we're playing, because he freaking won.
It's the Rockstar guy, right?
Yeah, that guy.
You crash landed on Alternia 16 long episodes ago, and sometimes you feel like you've been here forever. You had many adventures and met many Alternians, some all none of whom have become your friends. But now, for some reason, you have a hunch that you're near the end of your Alternian travels. You know, I wouldn't have to read this again if we had played the routes in order. But no.
Didn't we play Foster last time?
Yeah, but that's not the point. We're on a new recording session.
But Foster would have been the last episode.
For one thing, I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
Care.
I care.
Did we set everything up correctly?
Yes. I did it all.
Okay, because
Friendship!
I messed up on recording one time, like forever ago, and because of...
He's like...
because of that, I'm just like, are we set up? Are we set up correctly? Don't make me go through this route twice. I mean, we gotta go through the route multiple times anyway, because that's just how this game works, but you know what I mean.
And he's just like, tell me more.
I will punch you.
But that's what he's like. Let's go!
Okay.
With Marvis Zalato.
Zalato?
I'm doing all the words because this route has traumatized my sister in some fashion that she hasn't felt the need to describe to me.
Well, you haven't seen it, so it's something blind playthrough.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
That's your catchphrase.
What is that from?
I don't know. It's from you.
Is it?
I don't know. But you find yourself ambling down the road without any particular destination in mind. It seems you don't have to do much active searching to land yourself in varying combinations of adventure and or disaster. Where will the vicissitudes of fate next lead you? God, this game likes to just throw in random words I've never heard of that they might be making up, don't they? They just do that.
Yeah.
Who knows? They should have put a question mark. You walk for a while like that. You've just about lost all hope of running into a wacky contrivance when your palm husk lights up with the delightful and or foreboding sound of friendship. Someone is calling you. You're less excited to see that the person who happens to be calling you is Zebra. Okay. It's not that you dislike Zebra precisely. It's just that you might struggle to rank him above literally any other troll you've met, including the yellow guy who loves genocide.
Zaja, right? Or...
I guess. I mean, for my money, I still say the spider bitch from the very first episode is the worst. Just the absolute.
Wait, worse than Zebra?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I've been saying that this whole time.
I know, but seriously, what the fuck? Why?
Because she maims and tortures people for a living. Zebra is just like a rich, perverse asshole.
I want to make an argument, but I don't know how long I would wind up taking up the recording, arguing about something Vriska and Bloodcast, and then going off on a tangent about how the other Ceruleans don't have the mind powery stuff, and...
Well, let's not do that, because I don't know who Vriska is. But you're not one to leave a friend hanging. You dutifully answer the call.
Vriska?
Yeah?
Everyone should know that Vriska... Stop making noises back there. Anyway, Vriska is the best alpha troll.
Okay.
Everybody hates Vriska.
Okay.
Anywho, I just wanted to interject that real quick.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, pardon me. I haven't done this voice in I don't know how long. Ah, my good friend, you picked up. That's not quite right. I know it's supposed to be an exaggerated James, but that... Ooh. The wing glory of the Moltres rise... Fuck, I don't know. Ah, my good friend, you picked up. Awfully quickly, I might add. Yeah, you just love friendship. You ask Zebra why he's calling. Do I need a reason to call?
Yes.
Is the thrill of dialect... What the fuck is dialectical? Seriously. Is it like a dialect? Like... Is the thrill of dialectical riposte not cause enough to make social contact with one of my dearest adversaries, / friend, or maybe more, depending on whatever you feel comfortable with and interested in at any given point in time? You have no idea how to even respond to that?
You know, it's funny.
Hmm?
The whole thing with you narrating instead of me.
Yeah.
I was honestly gonna like narrate until we got up to the part where we meet Marvis.
Okay.
But then you were narrating and I was like, okay, and I don't know, my brain's just been stuck on that.
Well, I mean, you can narrate. I'm fine with that. Are you just gonna black out when we meet Marvis? Is that what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm going to cease existing throughout the rest of the playthrough.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I stand to incur material gain from your association. I need you to stay right where you are. Well, sorry.
I mean, if you just want to.
Nah, I'm getting confused on my vocals.
Well, what are you going to do? Hang up? You stand right where you are and stay on the line. You ask what Zebra is up to, but he won't say. Tells you he needs to concentrate. Eventually, you notice a strange shape resolving in the distance down the road, drawing nearer slowly but steadily. After a while longer of waiting, the figure in the distance grows close enough for you to tell that it's Zebra. Oh, that's you say. It looks like he's riding on some kind of incredibly cursed hovered Segway.
Yeah, I'm coming, sweetie!
You would say it takes maybe 15 minutes or so for him to make it the entire way over on his hover scoot.
There you are. Impressed by my new ride? It's so much easier to get their voice whenever they're on screen. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, because your brain is, like, doing the connection-y thing, and you're like, yes, this is the bastard who I'm supposed to be voicing.
But it's like, if I didn't already have a voice picked out for him, I'd just be like, first follow the rules. Because he's got his weird teeth going in front of his mouth.
Oh, yeah, you say. You're very impressed. Couldn't be more impressed.
I'm impressed by your swanky music.
It is nice music.
I knew you would be. I brought it out because tonight is a very special night. Or it will be if you'd be so kind as to make me the happiest troll on Alternia.
Is he, like, proposing to you?
What?
Never mind. You ask him what he's vague blogging about.
What indeed? The real question of what is, what are you doing this evening?
Well, it's not like you've ever had any plans to do anything besides stupidly stumble into one ludicrous boondoggle after another.
I love boondoggles.
What's a boondoggle?
A bit of tomfoolery.
Like shenanigans?
Yeah.
Huh. What?
Just this trio of silly words to describe the same basic idea.
They're all very silly words.
Yeah.
Anywho. Seems like whatever he's alluding to inviting you to probably fits the bill for being included in your long itinerary of unspecified dumbass bullshit you were bound to get embroiled in anyway.
Fantastic. Well, it just so happens that I managed to get my hands on 2 tickets to Clownfest.
I don't know.
Should I interpret that as Roman numerals, or But then we got Rex.
I usually read it as XX Rex, but that's random.
Double cross Recross? Double cross Recross.
Double cross Recross? That does sound pretty cool.
I'm gonna call it that. Double cross Recross. And I thought, who better to take along than my dearest alien associate of unspecified nature?
Literally anybody? You have no idea what Clownfest... What did you say?
Double cross Recross.
You have no idea what Clownfest Double Cross Recross is, but it's not off to a good start with that name.
Oh, I should have known you wouldn't be familiar with it. It's a little sophisticated for an off-world reprobate such as yourself.
What's a reprobate?
Like, it's just a curmudgeon.
Like, I thought a curmudgeon was a unit of measurement.
What?
Yeah, like a curmudgeon of salt. Like
That's a smidgen.
Oh.
God, this is just the episode of silly words. We're jingling all our jangles. It's a music festival. It's a music festival centered around purple blood performers. Now, normally I wouldn't trifle with high blood entertainment, disgustingly oppressive as it is. But when you think about it, aren't clowns the most disprivileged class of them all?
You don't ask him to explain what he means by that because everyone would be really angry reading it. I forgot about that line. That's a good line.
Agree to toss your meaty moral body into a clown pit to get moshed to death or whatever. Find something else to do that sounds less fucking awful. Fucking let's go for it. Agree.
Ugh.
I knew you'd be there for me. Alright, let's go.
Zebra invites you to hop onto the back of his scooter so you can head out to Clownfest. You say you're not sure that this is the most effective avenue of locomotion. Zebra tells you that it's all the rage and not to be a little bitch about it.
So let me tell you a little about my plans for tonight.
It feels like the scooter is going even slower than it was when he arrived, now that it's struggling under the weight of 2 people.
You see, my favorite rhyme juggler on the planet is going to be there tonight. Dude, is Marvis a rapper?
Yeah.
Dang. His name is Marvis Zelato. You might have heard of him. He's pretty famous.
Nope. You say you've never heard of him because you're an alien.
Alright. Well, he's only the best in all of Alternia. He came off a few sweeps back when he won first place on Slam or Get Cold. Oh, please tell me you at least know how Slam or Get Cold. Know about Slam or Get Cold.
You do not know about Slam or Get Cold.
Well, it's a bi-sweeply reality program where aspiring slam poets compete to prove who has what it takes. It's really cutthroat stuff. I mean, I think there are at least 5 decapitations a season. The competition is about skill. No matter the blood color of who is competing, the troll who wins is the troll who has the nastiest flow and the dopest bars. God.
That's just weird coming from him.
Oh, God. I'm not looking forward to voicing Marvis anymore. Everyone has an equal shot. I mean, sure, a high blood has one every season to date, but it's basic biology that clowns are better at rhyming than everyone else. Even if high bloods were low bloods, that would still be true. That's equality.
I'm just imagining, like a sea dweller goes on Slam and gets cold, but still gets cold because they can't fucking compare to Marvis or whatever.
Actually, they get cold because you said it was Slam and gets cold.
It's the cheap knockoff show. They signed up for that one by mistake.
Damn, sucker. Hey.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. You think this is really progressive stuff he's saying. Where could he have possibly gotten so educated and smart and stuff?
Oh, you flatter me. Anyway, as you know, I am deeply connected in the music industry. But because of oppressive hemospectrum systems, I'm afraid I am only truly afforded downward mobility. The clown sphere is a really insular, close-knit community. But with the right hustle, I'm going to break that glass ceiling.
I'm honestly not even convinced that other Indigo Bloods like you, dude. I don't.
Marvis is the perfect troll to bring me into the fold.
So what were you laughing about?
Okay. So basically we're at snooty white guy is gonna go try and get in with the black kids. That's mildly racist of me to say, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
I mean, you say this guy sounds pretty brutal. Are you sure you want to actually meet this clown?
What, Marvis? Ha! I mean, sure, he does what he needs to survive in a rigidly ossified power system that could never be truly dismantled by the actions of a single individual. But that doesn't mean that he supports it. Contrary to what you might think, Marvis is a spectacularly subversive figure in the industry. If you listen to his music, really listen, you'll hear some borderline revolutionary stuff. I think he'd tear it all down if he could. I might have mentioned it, but being a clown is kind of woke.
Okay.
That's why I've always wanted to probe that think pan of his, really get to the bottom of his radical praxis, and help spread his message of social reform to the masses. I've completely lost his voice. And you're going to help me do it.
After 4 hours of scooting and one excruciatingly detailed, unbroken account of the events of the past 3 seasons of Slam or Get Cold, you arrive at Clown Fest Double
Cross Recross.
Double Cross Recross.
Is this where I take over? Or are you gonna not be a little bitch about it and keep narrating?
I'll let you know when I refuse.
Okay.
There is definitely one very specific section that I refuse to voice, so.
There's a hot dog juggler.
Yeah. A lot of people, ship him with, Diamond?
Damon?
Yeah, that guy. Anyway. Clownfest feels more like a circus than your idea of a music festival. In the distance is a wide open field dotted with disorganized masses of people, all gathered before a nightmarish stage you presume to be the site of the evening's main event. The entrance to the festival grounds opens up into something of a parking lot filled with whimsical tents and people selling various snacks and refreshments. I almost read that as vicarious, and then I almost read it as vicious.
And I, for some reason, was reading that in my head as refurbishments. So, we're all over the place.
You see a clown juggling what looks like at least 7 hot dogs. Absolutely ghoulish. You're glad Demon isn't here to see this. Zebra brings you up to the gates, flashes your tickets, and gets you wristbanded and admitted to the festival grounds. Seems like there's still some time before the performance is slated to start. There are some spectators already gathered in the field, but those of more privileged blood castes are lined up around the tents in the lot to buy food and merchandise. While you walk around the festival grounds, you ask Zebra what exactly he has planned. What could you possibly do to get him in good with the clowns? Zebra takes it as an invitation to whisper conspiratorially into your ear. His breath is hot and heavy against your hearing canal.
Here's the plan, my sweet little rustdrop. We get in, wait for the show to start, and then when Marvis comes onto the stage, really gets into his act, you're going to jump the barricade and rush the stage.
I feel very bad for anybody wearing headphones right now.
Or at least, you're going to try to. Of course, I'm going to stop you. I'll tackle you before you make it to the stage, and I'll call you right in front of Marvis and everybody.
What?
Oh, calm down. I'm trying to tear down the stereotypes that lowbloods are all simple-minded dullards, and you aren't doing your people any favors by reinforcing the cause for prejudice. Obviously, I'm not going to really kill you.
To be fair, MC is new in Anyal's hemospectrum anyway, so...
Yeah.
He's not even a low blood.
You'll simply pretend to play dead after I've heroically foiled your black designs on Marvis. My actions will firmly place me within Marvis's Ashen Quadrant, so he'll have no choice but to recognize me. And then the clowns will see that I am a hero and praise me and bring me backstage to reward me. It's really a flawless plan, my dear. If you just do what you're told, nothing will go wrong.
I don't get... Okay, if it puts him in Marvis's Ashen Quadrant... Okay, I get that MC is gonna play dead, not actually be dead, but that would imply that main character and Marvis are Kazmisa's. But how does main character be Kazmisa's if he's dead?
Are you asking me? Because I don't even... These are words. These aren't even words. These are guttural noises escaping from your voice tube.
My voice tube.
Your voice tube. Whatever trolls call that.
Before you can proffer...
Mm-hmm.
Proffer? Is that...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before you can proffer any critique of this caper, the jovial clamor of chattering and revelry surrounding you is pierced by a rising chorus of blood-curdling shrieks. You whip around to ascertain the source of the dreadful sound, but it becomes quickly apparent that those... I keep...
Yeah?
Yeah.
To the audience, she pantomimed. She put her hand in front of her face, staring at it sideways, and was sort of just like chopping her hand forward to indicate something, and then kind of slouched down back in her seat a little. So anyone who's a psychoflubricologist, please get on that shit, because I'd love to understand.
Okay. You whip around to ascertain the source of the dreadful sound, but it becomes quickly apparent that those were not screams of pain at all. You know what's up when Zebra joins in with the ear-splitting squeals.
No.
That's him!
There's Marvis.
Dude, you're tall.
He is tall. He's very tall. He's a clown. Which...
Is that just a thing with clowns?
Yeah. I mean, except Carico, but...
Huh.
I think people are saying he's a runt. I'm not sure if he's actually a runt or if he's just a kid, but... Anyway, it's the man of the hour himself. An expensively dressed juggalo is making his way through the crowd, flanked by a robust team of hulking indigo bloods. Every aspect of him telegraphs unimaginable celebrity. The purposefully disheveled yet fashionable fit of his clothes, the swagger of his step, the 10-man camera crew trailing behind him. He walks with a measured poise despite the chaos rising around him. Dozens and dozens of young trolls are flinging themselves at his entourage without any apparent concern for their safety. The bodyguards are roundhouse kicking the eager teens into the ground left and right like a bloody blender of adolescent aliens. It's pure carnage.
He really knows how to draw a crowd, doesn't he? Oh.
Yeah, never mind. I started to question something, but yeah, never mind. Anyway, a minute ago it was tough to truly grasp the hype, but after seeing him in person, you don't know what it is, but this swaggy clown has an undeniable gravitas that commands the attention of everyone around him. It's impossible to look anywhere else. Even the Alternian moonlight seems to endeavor to glint off his golden accoutrements twice as bright. What the fuck is an accoutrement?
Accessories.
But he's gone just as quickly as he arrived up to the festival stage to set up his act. But, he leaves a bloody void in his wake. Zebra is bouncing on the balls of his feet, following the encounter. He clearly can't wait to get up into the pit, and to be honest, neither can you. What is it about a clown god that's so utterly a good clown? What is it about a good clown that's so utterly irresistible?
These damn clowns with their damn clown language.
Dyslexia for the win. Anyway, I think we're getting to the part where I don't want to narrate.
Okay.
Yeah, you narrate.
Very well. Zebra takes you up to the field spread out before the stage. There are thousands and thousands of trolls already standing around ready for the show to start. From the looks of the crowds in the back breaking down their tents, there have been rustbloods camping out here for days to secure their spots. But even those hard-won locations are much further to the back than where Zebra is leading you. There aren't many highbloods here by comparison, so Zebra is able to take you to walk right in, muscle past all the ceruleans and grab a spot by the barricades with maybe 5 minutes to spare before the show starts. There are some roadies up on stage now, dashing around to finalize all the equipment arrangements. Oh, shoot. Did you remember to bring your concert diaper? Excuse you? Zebra turns to you with wide eyes. You're awfully close together now, boxed in by the swell of trolls pushing your bodies closer and closer to the stage. You know, your concert diaper.
Is this a thing in real life?
Dude, I've never been to a concert.
I'm asking the audience. Let us know in the comments below if this is fucking normal, or if this is just some weird... Bleh.
You don't actually know. You don't have a single clue about your concert diaper. You ask him if he's wearing his concert diaper. He pats the front of his pants, which you notice are looking a bit plumper than usual. Of course. You can't just come to one of these things without your concert diaper. Things in the pit can get pretty intense, bro, and you can't leave to use the load gaper after it starts. Man, you're really going to regret not bringing your concert diaper. So is everyone around us. Ugh! Before you can even attempt to formulate a response to that, the crowd breaks into thunderous cheering. Your heart skips a beat as you look up, but of course the clown who's clambering up to the center stage isn't him. Marvis is clearly too hot to blow on the first act. All the same, people are real fired up for this raggedy juggalo. He seems like a serviceable clown, you suppose. He's got enough gold chains and is reasonably swaggy. He gets bumping, drops a few bars. It's fine, you guess, but he's not your clown. You know the moment you laid eyes. You know the moment you laid eyes on Marvis that he was the only clown your heart would ever be able to see again.
You know, like whenever I played through these routes, because we weren't recording at that time. Actually, like live vlogged my reactions to this stuff on Tumblr.
Yeah.
And I was like, Marvis isn't my clown. Karako is friggin' the only clown I care about. How dare you insinuate things, you game?
But what about Shahuget? Who I only remember because they were in the previous episode.
I'm pretty sure it's weird. You would think her being all murder happy would make me all like, but actually it's just my intense, weird, internalized church phobia. And she is very, very, very religious.
Yeah, well. Zebra leans into your ear and has to yell to be heard over the sounds of the music in the crowd. Hold on, how do I yell this? I've never much liked Rapster Slamsy's work, to be honest. Sure, the beats are produced well, but he has a very insipid sense of lyricism. Trizz's clam this, Trizz's indefatigable military might that. We get it, you want to harpoon the heiress. Who doesn't, honestly? We don't need to hear about it all day. A solid 15 minutes of mildly provocative slams later, and old Slammy is slinking off backstage. As soon as he's gone, a new jester takes the floor. If you wanted to get into the music, it proves difficult. Every new act they bring onto the stage is immediately followed by a hollering earful of Zebra's scathing critique. You wonder why he's so fixated on getting in good with the gaggle of urban farceurs if he thinks so little of their technical and artistic merits to begin with. As you stand, lean sweatily against the barricade, you're starting to wonder if it's all worth it. Could the sight of a single rapping man really outweigh all the physical and psychic agony of waiting and standing and stewing in the heat of this pit? Will you have just endured nearly 3,000 words of hanging out with Zebra for something that will ultimately let you down? But as the penultimate clown trundles off the set, the taste of the air changes. The lights on the stage go dark, the booming sound system goes quiet, and the tremulous hush falls over the crowd. You feel your heart stop in the silence. You know down to your bones that this is the moment you've been waiting for. From Sea Dweller to Rustblood, nobody moves. The sound of his light footsteps against the darkened stage could only be audible to someone as close as you. The anticipation swallows you whole. When the floodlights snap back on and illuminate his astounding figure center stage, you feel it. Though yet of modest stature, the lanky juggalo has the presence of a man 1,000,000 feet tall. I mean, but he's a tall dude, ain't he? Like, isn't he already tall? But they say he's like modest stature.
Huh.
I guess he's short for a clown?
Maybe? I know most people say that he's like shorter than Chahat, so...
He radiates a power the likes of which you've never felt before. You feel him inside you intimately, religiously, indelibly. Yes, this is it. This is your clown.
No. Bad game.
And then he opens his mouth to utter what feels like the most important words you've ever heard in your life. Hey. I knew it was going to be something stupid. You alright?
Just the way you delivered the line. I'm just mentally in my head, I'm like, Yami Yuki?
Not my intention, but alright. All hell breaks loose. Everyone is screaming around you. You grip tight on the barricade as you stare up at him. Glowing, messianic arms outstretched to drink in the zealous fervor of the crowd, all incited by a single, incredible, powerful word. Hey! God, you'll never forget it. Okay. I don't like his dialogue already.
What's wrong with this dialogue?
I don't know. What up, guys? Lol. You jugs ready to cook? What the fuck is that? You can't help it. You start screaming. You're so fucking ready. Lol, these buddies be baking beans. Shiz. Any of y'all forget your concert diapers because BC, it's rank out there. Are you supposed to say because or BC?
I usually read that as because. I don't know.
You feel racked by shame. How could you forget your concert diaper? You'll never be so foolish again. But it's alright. I'ma freshen things up. You hear me? Zebra takes hold of your hand and squeezes it tight. You appreciate the gesture. No, okay.
God, he's so fucking beautiful.
You understand. You feel deeply, utterly devastated to know how far out of your grasp he is. Why would a man like that ever even look at you? There's no way someone so tremendous, so magnificent, so extravagant would waste his time offering his friendship to someone as insignificant as you. But yet he does. But as desolating as that feeling may be, you aren't ready to put him out of your life just yet. Maybe there are other ways you can be close to him. Listen to his music, follow him wherever he goes, dedicate your life to him. You want to know everything you can about everything about him that you can. Maybe in this way you can honor him, befriend him in your own heart, if not his. Is a love one-sided any less beautiful? Depends. When the
question,
Yeah.
was MC describing an obsessive fan, or was he describing a stalker?
I mean, there's not much difference, but in his own mind he was describing an obsessive fan. The way he, acts upon it could make him a stalker. When the music at last starts to blast through the speakers, you ascend. The pain in your legs and your back disappears. You feel nothing but streaming euphoria. You think of the forces of serendipity. Sorry, I thought I saw something. Yeah, I did see something. Hold on.
Well, I mean, Marvis can't be that important.
I mean, it's not.
He just...
So this was I got this 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
So, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have not heard me. I tweeted about, anytime we record, I have to fight shenanigans with my bare hands. There be shenanigans.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're actually going to use the save feature. I just remembered that exists.
Cool.
How do we do that? Oh, probably the save button. Haha! We finally fucking used this thing.
Marvis was worth it. No one else has been. Anyway.
Right, okay, bear it back.
Hurry, let's go. We gotta do the thing.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we're back. And
We are back. We exist.
I almost, was like, okay, hurry, go to start. And then I was like, oh, wait, right, because...
We gotta load Clown Boy.
We're finally using the save feature for the first time.
Yes.
In all of these friggin' chapters.
You know, it has this why does it say AQ at the bottom?
I think if you click on one of those, it has, auto saves or something. Quick saves. Yeah, auto saves.
Yeah. We didn't even have to save it. Neat.
Apparently, yeah. But excuse you, that's not what I clicked on. What do we do? What?
Oh.
No. Hold on.
Escape.
Yes, okay. Can I click on the one? Yes, thank you. What?
No, we don't.
No.
You were on save.
Right. Okay.
This episode is silly.
I feel like this is where I would normally splice in that error technical difficulty screen that I like to use sometimes. It goes beep.
Yeah.
It has a staticky. Anyway. Alright, so now we are here once again.
And Clown Boy be bumping. Or whatevs. I am hip to the lingo, kids. Anyway. I don't remember where I was, so I'm just gonna read. When the music at last starts to blast through the speakers, you ascend. The pain in your legs and back disappears. You feel nothing but streaming euphoria. You thank the forces of serendipity for guiding you to the glorious epiphany of this beatific... Beatific?
Beatific singularity.
Yeah, but it should be beaterific. Or beatastical. but it's just beatific. That's just stupid. That's a
But
stupid
it's
word.
also, but it's also song fun.
I never would have even. The show's nothing to scoff at either. You, a highly discerning individual known to frequently make posts online regarding the quality of rap and whether or not those who purport to possess such ability do in fact have the requisite bars, are fully blown away by the act. It's some really good stuff. He's just really going in hot with those raps. Not that intensity is the sole barometric of the quality of hip-hop.
Was MC being sarcastic whenever they said that they're known for doing that, or are they being brainwashed into thinking that they normally do that? I don't get that one line.
I don't know, it feels like a sarcasm moment to me. The fire that Marvis is dropping is a broad, contemporary performance that would equally satisfy any aficionado of relevant subgenre. Not a single thing about him is even slightly racist. That's nice. Hi, Zeb.
But, or maybe MC took up blogging about rap after Chixie's route?
Maybe. Is that how it goes in your fanfic? You're writing a fanfic, according to my headcanon.
I mean, I have written fanfics. I haven't written any with MSPA Reader, but I totally should, honestly, because I don't know.
And in my headcanon, you die. I need a JonTron impression. I should.
That was a Tome reference.
Yeah.
JonTron voiced somebody in that.
He was.
You should all go watch Tome.
It's The Terrain of Magical Expertise by Chris Neosi, by the way.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway. You're really starting to get into the zone when Zebra starts to scream in your ear again. You were already going deaf from the concert as it was. I think it's about time to get the show on the road, don't you? Go along with Zebra's cowardly and nefarious plan to scam your beloved clown. No fucking way! I'm gonna go with it. Enraptured you may be with Marvis's magnificence. A promise is a promise, and you can't let Zebra down. You wait for the right moment and start to vault up over the barricade as quickly as you can manage. You clear the barrier and drop down into the gutter between the stage and the crowd. You're not sure where to go from here. You glance back towards Zebra for guidance, and the crowd has noticed what you're doing, all right. The onlookers are swarming with rage at your insolence. Zebra makes his move. He starts to follow you up and over the barricade, but things don't go as planned. Instead of heroically stopping you from making it to Marvis, Zebra is put upon from all sides by grasping claws. They don't recognize what Zebra is trying to do. They think he's just another conspirator trying to join you in your attempt at Marvis's life. You watch in stunned horror as the two trolls closest to Zebra take hold of each of his arms, dig their claws in, and rip them right off. And they don't stop there. You barely have time to process what's happening until another pair of trolls descend, helping to tear ruthlessly into Zebra's body. His screams don't even register over the booming of the sound system.
Man, that color is like really weirdly bright for indigo blood.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like it's like sky blue.
Yeah, kinda. Fountains of indigo blood spray hot into the humid air. The barricade and the ground all around you are drenched in your friend's gore. You're frozen where you stand in that arid gutter between heaven and hell. This isn't how it's supposed to go, is it? You feel the inevitable press of entropy closing in. The trolls in the audience see you, and they've already had a taste for blood. Your legs are as stiff as rods as the carnage-caked trolls who made short work of your friend begin to vault over the barricade themselves. It seems pointless to run. You're stricken by a consuming sense of déjà vu. You've made a mistake, and the universe is going to clean up your mess. The trolls drop down into the gutter on you in advance. You close your eyes and accept your fate. And then feel yourself being wrenched up onto the stage. Yo, what's up? I couldn't not laugh.
Same.
We were gonna scam you guys, but now we're not.
Yeah, we were just gonna go through the entire rest of the route, not acknowledging the fact that he
Blatantly changes the voice. And you'll never realize that because I'm going to edit this entire sequence out.
So do you want to like back up and reread that? Because I like laughed whenever you read it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say though, the narrator voice you've been doing
Yeah.
would probably be a pretty good Marvis voice.
Yeah.
Isn't it like similar to the one you were already giving him?
Yes. In fact, that was the goal, Marva's voice. But since I was being a doof.
So do you want to keep doofing or?
I'm just gonna give him the voice I was narrating with.
Okay.
It's gonna get really confusing.
You're gonna just not edit this out so that everybody knows that there's something?
I'll think about it.
He is the editorial person now.
Yeah.
Did we already mention that before?
No, but they probably figured it out from the bombastical and great intro I made.
Oh, really?
I assume it's great. I haven't made it yet. It's probably not bombastic at all, though. Anywho. Yo, what's up? You can't believe your eyes. Marvis, in all his majesty, has hoisted you up to safety on the grand stage. He's beaming at you with the most beautiful smile you've ever seen in your whole life. This development has certainly given the bloodthirsty crowd pause. Marvis turns to them with an unerring grin and shakes his head. Y'all out there trying to kill my buddy? Sometimes I swear my fans are bigger clowns than I am, lol. His adoring legion seems to find that very funny. You're starting to realize you really should have brought your concert diaper after all. Now seems like there's been a big misunderstanding. This just be one of my backup dances. Hey, hit it, cuz show him what you got. He's helping you? You can't say you understand, but you're not about to look a sexy, gorgeous gift clown in the mouth. If Marvis wants you to dance for your life, you'll dance. You start going to town, flossing, shooting, whatever it is the kids are doing these days. A real contemporary breakdown. The crowd goes wild. Things are really starting to look up for you until a deafening crack sounds through the air and the stage equipment starts to collapse. It all happens quickly. The bolts of all the stage scaffolding burst out of their settings, the lights catch fire, and one of the massive 100-foot screens behind the stage comes loose of its moorings. You'd have been easily pancaked by the huge screen if not for Marvis expertly clown-stepping you and himself out of the way. Half the crowd isn't so lucky. The big screen shatters when it hits the stage, raining a 100-foot area of trolls with vicious glass. Shiz. Right when things was just getting started. But the sound equipment was all obliterated by the sudden collapse. Nobody can hear him but you. For a moment, your hero looks lost. Man, we better bounce, cuz. Marvis grabs you by your sweaty hand and runs. He takes you to safety into the performer's green room, which seems to be intact after the collapse of the stage, though the power is out. The room is filled with clowns who performed earlier. They all look very confused and harried. Sheet. Things gonna be madhouse out there for a while, so better to just lay low for a little bit, I bet. We out there right now, and we gonna get mobbed. Usually everybody'd be dead at the end of my concerts. I wouldn't make it out of there without having 2 pale with 1,000 teens otherwise. The fuck am I even saying? Am I reading this right?
He's saying usually everybody would be dead at the end of his concerts.
I understood that.
He wouldn't make it out of there otherwise without having to, like, fuck 1,000 teenagers.
Ah, living the dream. You're a little rattled, to say the least. Marvis takes a good look at you. Ugh, man. Man. You shiz yourself? You start to cry. You didn't bring your concert diaper. Oh, man, it's alright. Don't cry. Look, you're hardly the first buddy to ever shiz themselves at one of my concerts. I'm used to the smell. To be honest, it's comforting. You sniffle and say, really? You wouldn't want to bring even the slightest inconvenience to his wonderful life. Yeah, I'll let it cook.
I don't know what that means.
Bring it in, Broheim. Bring it in, Broheim. You bring it in. The two of you share a nice, malodorous hug. Is he about to murder me? It's hard for you to understand what's going on. Why did Marvis save you, anyway? I saw you was hanging out with that blue bro, always trying to get his snuff shoot up me and my jug's shiz holes. And then you trying to make a real run for me. Gotta say that's brave. Gotta ask a buddy where they got the bulge rods to try to pull us down. I can't even. I can't maintain my crappy voiceover while trying to read this. I'm not cool enough.
All he's saying is, gotta ask a buddy where they got the bulge rods to try to pull a stunt like that.
I understand it. I can't say it. Not unless I'm gonna stop and read everything before I try.
Now you know what it's like to be me when I'm trying to narrate and I'm doing the thing again where I'm gesturing the choppy thing.
Captain Chop. Respect. Oh, well, it wasn't really much of a stunt. You were just going along with your friend's ludicrous plan to try and scam him into a friendship under false pretenses. But it was a really bad plan, and your friend was killed on the spot immediately, and now you're pretty sure you're cosmically fated to die due to making a non-canonical decision. What do you mean non-canon? I'll just be non-canon, fam. What can it even mean to be non-canonical within the context of an inherently extra-canonical framework? Skeet skeet brat.
So do you know what he's on about right now? Do you want to make some kind of reaction to all this crazy stuff?
Okay, sure.
Oh my god, is Marvis saying this entire game is non-canon to the entire, Undertale storyline? I can't believe it! What? Undertale! Your favorite webcomic, Undertale! Starring Freddy Fazbear!
What the fuck, dude?
Holy shiznits!
Don't trip, Gramps. You're not sure, but you definitely have the sense that some of the decisions within the simulation carry greater values of truth and relevance than others, and that the linear progression of events is rigorously enforced by an obligate narrative flow that privileges those actions which are most smoothly facilitate the designs of the story's architect. Sure, you can hear that noise that way. But I say you'd act to have your own fate. Preach, brother. All that jazz. Inspiring a sermon as Marvis may be spitting, his wise pontifications are after when a clown in the back of the green room knocks over the water cooler. This gets the other clown who was talking to him really pissed, and they start duking it out. It starts a chain reaction that pulls all the other high bloods into a whirling blade picture of clown carnage. Man, what the fuck is going on here? It's like you said, you've made a mistake, and the essence of the timeline won't reset until it's put things right.
Won't rest.
Whatever. You can feel that it's happened before, and it'll happen again. Well, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Come on, Droll Nostradamus, let's skeet scoot. Even as the inescapability of your demise consumes you, you can't bring yourself to deny him. You follow him out of the green room, fleeing before the clown fight and can pull you in and grind you to bits. Out here, you're the one who has to help Marvis. In the open air, it's an unending procession of teens, quick-time events. Some of them are carrying buckets. You just need to keep punching them out until you finally make it to his rich guy clown limo. The driver's nowhere to be seen, so Marvis gets... like... Isn't this the same limo from a different thing, but, like, redecorated slightly?
Yeah, Malik's.
Yeah.
Except now it's all clownified.
The driver's nowhere to be seen, so Marvis gets behind the wheel and you hightail it out of there. You stick your head out the window and look back. There's a nasty storm brewing in the distance. I know somewhere we'll be safe. You make sure to secure your seatbelt. After dodging at least 3 fallen trees, a wayward deer Lucius, and lightning strike, that blasts the hood off the vehicle right off, Marvis brings you to Clown Church. You can't say this place was high on your list of venues you wanted to visit again, but this thing has a fucking budget.
What?
This thing has a fucking budget.
What has a budget?
I don't know. Something. Whatever bullshit's power that's coming after you will have no reach here. This be hallowed ground, biznatch. Marvis leaves the limo on the lawn of the church, and you both hurry out. Just in time, because it explodes not 2 seconds after you're out of the door. By instinct, Marvis shields you from the fiery blast with his body. Ow!
Hold on. I don't know, man.
Oh no, Marvis, no, you beautiful soul! You're destroyed by guilt. How could someone so tremendous bring themselves to such harm for someone so meaningless as you? You drag Marvis's burn-scorched body into Clown Church, and you collapse as soon as you're past the threshold. You start weeping. Shiz, fam, I ain't dead, just a little toasty. You ain't gotta cry about it. I got better, goddamn. Oh, okay. You help him up and bolt the door behind you. He was right. You do feel safe here. Nothing is collapsing, nobody's being stricken with a hysterical urge to start a fight, and there's not even a single fire happening anywhere. The mirthful Messiahs be protecting us, buddy. Stay frosty, alright? You help Marvis over to sit down in one of the pews. You settle in next to him, gaze up at the imposing architecture. It's not all so bad. There's beauty there. A beauty in being a clown, too, you're starting to see. Maybe you're even starting to believe? You turn to look at Marvis, and his face is ashen and slick with sweat. Think that dip into grill I had hurt a bit more than I thought. Your heart drops in your chest, and you ask him if he's going to be alright.
Wait a minute. Who's protecting Clown Church?
The Sky Carousel, I don't know.
I guess I would assume it would be the Mirthful Messiah. Messiah's plural? I think it's plural. But, I thought Clown Church, somebody was explaining something about Homestuck lore one time, and it was very confusing, but I left off of reading that with the general impression that Clown Church is set up to, worship, Lord English. But Lord English is well, not him, but Doc Scratch, I'm assuming, is the reason you're being attacked. So who's... Is there somebody who's, versus Lord English in the grand mythological Homestuck something? Bleh.
I don't know, but I appreciate the Skype noise in this guy's song.
Yeah.
As long as we stay in here, we aight. But can you really stay inside Clown Church forever? You know down to your bones that even if you do, it doesn't matter. It's something about the air. You can't really describe it. Everything just starts to press down, 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 like you and everything around you is sinking implacably into the earth. But the ground is coming out to meet you, too. You start to perspire. The pressure leaves you weak. You slump against Marvis's shoulder. You feel so insubstantial, like the entire concept of your existence is struggling to erase itself. You know this isn't something you can fight. What? What, are you just giving up like that? You don't know what else you can do. This isn't how things are supposed to go. This isn't how things can be. You can't exist like this. And that depends on what it means to exist, fam. Depending on how you look at it, every branch in the timeline be fundamental to the metatextual structure of the essence of existence itself.
I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what you're saying.
He's saying that if you subscribe to multiversal theory, then every single action and reaction and all that jazz creates an alternate timeline thingamabob dimension, and all these things are integral to the overall structure of the cosmic omniverse.
Right. Okay. So yeah, the whole erasing thing is just fucking that bullshit with, Actually, no, this doesn't make any sense, because fucking... The way time works in Homestuck is weird.
We're just debating religion, figuratively, with some random clown dude.
No, because there's, this whole thing with everything within Homestuck being a thing that leads up to the creation of Lord English, who is in here in the... He's... But... So if the timeline doesn't cause Lord English to exist, then it doesn't...
Maybe Lord English exists outside of time.
He's already here, man. And he's a... I can't explain time travel stuff. I'm not smart enough. But anyway, he's a Lord of Time and... Let's just continue.
Even an incident that falls outside the strict confines of canonical continuity contributes to a meta-consciousness that be built by and could even be said to, at its most essential level, be defined primarily by the extra-textual exchange of interpretation by those who observe it.
What? I don't time travel, bro!
I mean, I do.
But what did he just say?
Like, okay, even if something is non-canon, okay, falls outside of your regular timeline or whatever,
yeah,
it contributes to the overall understanding of the true canon storyline because you observed it. And this is like, hold on. And that what is and what is not canon is honestly, in large part, up to debate between the people who are doing the observing.
So he's breaking the fourth wall? Or...
He's saying the timelines you want to be canon are canon, basically.
That hurts my head. It's confusing.
Each path a translucent fragment that via mirroring or distorting or magnifying certain aspects of the ultimate reality folds itself invisibly into the fabric of that reality.
Now he's just putting words together.
No. He's saying that, like, okay, each of the branching pathways of potential timelines, ultimately they're all just like the mesh that makes up the plane of all reality, of omniversal reality. So canon, non-canon, either way, it's part of reality. Even the non-canon is canon, in the grand scheme of things.
That's weird.
What's weird is that I'm breaking down metaphysical concepts to you through the filter of a clown from a video game where clowns are psychopath, religious killer people things. That's weird. Is self-immeasurable and intangible, but the space it once occupied indelible. Hold on.
You know what's even weirder?
Yeah.
So after Kariko's route came out, I forget if it was somebody in the comments section of our video or if it was somebody on Tumblr or what it was, but basically they were like, yeah, clown religion isn't just real in Homestuck. It's not just real in the sense that it's an actual... There's an actual clown heaven or whatever. It's like a thing in real life. Which, the comic actually sends you a link to it. But, I remember watching it and being like, I don't know what this is. And I clicked off of it. But it made Gamzee mad.
Okay.
But yeah, there's like these people who, they're like rapping clowns, and it was very confusing whenever I tried to look it up, and it's called
What, Crazy Clown Posse?
Yeah, the Insane Clown Posse, ICP.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a whole pseudo-clown religion thing that is based off of their stuff or something, I think, is my vague understanding of it, because
Okay.
very confused about it still. Also, one of the people from the Insane Clown Posse duo, He went to, I think it was called FurCon?
Ah, cool.
Yeah, and he dressed out as a clown furry, and his daughter also went with him. I think she was also dressed as a clown furry. And somebody, I don't remember who, but somebody went and walked up to him and was like, "Oh, hey, I found out about you from Homestuck." And he's like, "I don't know what that is, but cool." And his daughter was like, "I know what that is." And apparently the person who mentioned that was just filled with terror whenever she said that.
Alright then.
Anyway, that was a...
This is
Tangent.
a tangenty episode.
Yeah.
Full of silly words. The observation of irreality can still inform how reality is to be interpreted, even if that irreality doesn't satisfy even a cursory standard of legitimacy.
If you view reality, non-reality, it gives you information about reality, even if it's not canon.
Right. To observe the non-canon routes
Uh-huh.
can better inform your understanding of the actual canon routes, because you get to see aspects of the characters' personalities and whatnot that don't unfold in the canon route, and things of that sort.
Suppose that makes sense.
And the act of contravening continuity can itself provide definition to that very integrity it defiles.
I don't understand.
I'll be honest, it's hard to interpolate through the voice acting and all the pauses, but I believe going back to the thing where it's like, all the non-canons and the true canon are all part of the same omniversal reality thing,
Uh-huh.
that,
That even if the non-canon thing is illegitimate or whatever, then the fact that it's all
integral to it, it's each other's... Yeah, fuck this. I can't keep on trying. I can't. It's like I'm not confused, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's just...
It involves words.
It is tiring.
Yeah, and explanations and stuff.
even if what's going down here can't be said to be true, that doesn't mean we're meaningless. Turn up. You don't know about all that, but you tell Marvis you're glad he's here with you. Marvis smiles and puts his arm around your shoulders. In spite of it all, he makes you feel real. You stare into the effervescing panes of clown glass as they shift and scintillate in your vision. Things are coming apart at the seams. Subatomic concepts scream from the inside of your ears, and the infinity of pure dimension blossoms between the tenuous threads holding the essence of your being together.
He's like shifting between a smiling sprite and a frowning sprite.
Neat. That's not really a frown, it's more like a
It's like it's a non-smile.
It's a grimace.
He appears to be in pain.
Yeah. The terminality of paradox space reaches into you from inside out and takes hold of reality in its inescapable grasp. Continuity inverts and cascades into a cataclysmic fractal. What happens will happen, and what can't must not, and no measure of hubris from man or god or clown can stymie the cosmic imposition of truth. You close your eyes for just a moment, but when you open again, there's nothing to see at all. Time paradox.
You know, it's crazy. Because when Marvis, his sprite was first revealed or whatever,
Yeah.
he had a hat. But then they got rid of it, and they were like, you guys might have seen that hat, but that was just a crazy clown trick because clowns are crazy like that, and he was lying through his teeth because you can't trust clowns. Anyway, but it turns out that actually was his real sign, and he's a time player.
Huh.
Yeah. He's the most powerful time player of them all because he caused the fucking time paradox whenever he's not even god tier.
Interesting. Let's get the other bad route. Da ba ba da 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 ba da 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 da. I wonder if these random nonsense sounds annoy people.
Wait, do you do them that often?
Oh yeah, like every time we're fast forwarding, bro.
It's weird. I think I'm just used to you doing shit like that I didn't even notice.
Ha!
Like, I've noticed a couple of times, but I didn't realize it was, like, literally every time.
Let's find something else to do.
Oh, right.
Stop.
What?
What did you... Well, you can't say that the invitation isn't tempting. Going to a writhing gathering of violent jesters certainly sounds like a recipe for a stimulating time. But what if you didn't throw yourself blindly into obvious peril for once in your incredibly painful life? Pass. Oh. Zebra sighs heavily. He looks completely destroyed. Despite yourself, you feel a pang of guilt in your chest. I see. I guess that's fine. I'll just have to find someone else to facilitate my brush with greatness. What is that supposed to mean? You don't bother to ask. When you don't give in to his obvious guilting either, Zebra seems to accept his fate. Ugh, whatever. I can't believe I can only hear my hover suit just to be callously rejected like this. But I guess I'll see you around, hotcakes. Zebra powers back up his little scooter, gearing up to go. But when he tries to lean back so the machine will start heaving in reverse, something is wrong. The scooter just won't move, no matter how many times he slaps at the control panel on the handlebars. You ask if it's broken.
I just realized the hover scooter probably sucks, not because he's a heavy piece of shit or whatever, but because, like, Vickery was like, yeah, we don't have airplanes. We have spaceships, but not airplanes, so probably the hover scooters are just, like, they're just now barely being able to figure out how the fuck to even make them.
Could be. That, or it's specifically designed for space travel, and it's, like, not actually built to deal with gravity.
Yeah.
It's like piloting a Gundam on the Earth instead of in space. It's problematic, depending on your continuity.
Oh, really?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. What? No, it can't be. It's brand new, and it was just working a minute ago. Maybe I'm in the wrong mode. Zebra hammers with the buttons in the control panel for a bit, with no luck. Damn, maybe it is the motors. So Zebra tries leaning forward to check it out. That's not the problem at all. In fact, as soon as he pushes his weight against the control stick, the scooter surges forward. Maybe it just doesn't have reverse. It collides with your frail human body, knocking you to the ground, and there's too much momentum in the motion for Zebra to stop there. The jets underneath the scooter rake over your pummeled body, incinerating you and killing you instantly. Excellent! That's what I always wanted.
Also, I hate this route for multiple reasons.
Because it's not a hover scoot, it's got wheels.
Oh my god, it does. What the fuck? What? Anyway, but, like, my main issue with it is just it's very uncomfortable.
Okay.
But I also hate it because, okay, Zebra is here.
Mm-hmm.
But he's, instead of just being, like, mind-erasingly horrible,
Uh-huh.
he's just, like, normal levels of bad. And I'm like, because he actually accepts it whenever you're like, no, instead of being obnoxious and, like, he actually is listening to what you're saying at all.
Yeah, you guys have
a
gotten
little bit.
You guys have gotten kind of cool over the intervening time.
And I'm just like, okay, so it's like a, how do you phrase this? I wanted him to be a good guy whenever we first found out about him.
Yeah.
But no, he was a horrible, irredeemable asshole. And here he is, not being a great guy, but not being...
He's not trying to rape you. He's trying to use you to get in good with clowns, but, you know, whatevs. That's basically the same thing Lawyer Guy was doing.
What?
Except without the clown angle.
What? No, he was just trying to...
No, I mean,
he was just trying to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I know, but, like, there was a point when, towards the end of his route, there was a thing where it's like, I don't know, you come across that other person who's like, is that a vampire? And he's like, yes, it's a vampire. Fear me, bitch, or something. I don't.
Well, I mean,
That's the same thing as getting in good with somebody on this planet.
not really, because like he used that to freak Gallic out because like otherwise that was going to be a very awkward moment, and like Tagra was sitting there having a panic attack. It was the main character who was like, yeah, I'm one of those whatevers. And Gallic was like, oh no, you're one of the whatevers, and then he ran off and
Was that officially confirmed to be Gallic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, but just whenever Zebra died, because I got this ending first.
Yeah.
Whenever Zebra died, I'm like, don't you make me feel bad about that. Like, not bad in the sense of, oh no, I can't believe this happened to my best friend. Just in the sense of, oh no, I can't believe this happened to somebody. That sucks. That person. Nobody deserves to have their arms fucking ripped off. Or whatever.
Yeah.
That should have been like, yes, you douchebag, get your fucking arms ripped off. But, I don't know, he was just normal levels of awful. So, I felt bad.
Yeah, he was no worse than any other fucking scumbag on this planet on this particular route. And decidedly way better than our Dada. Or, is that the spider bitch?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good.
But also, how dare you? I mean, I don't even really like her that much, but Zebra, his worst character.
Nah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, no. He's just objectively not. Anyway, we're gonna go get the good route.
Yeah, which actually, okay, so there's like this part in the good route, which is the main thing that I really don't want to voice act, but that only depends on whether you decide to do something very, very strange.
Okay.
I also didn't want to voice act the part with the fucking diapers, but anyway, we didn't actually get to the part that I was very much not wanting to. I don't want to be involved with any of this, but I'm rambling, and
Yeah.
you're just inching over to the button, and you're just gonna press it in the middle of me